Well, hello and welcome back. So, a few things before I start on it. One, I've gotten some comments on one of my last videos on this that this series can be a little bit frustrating to watch at times because I'm not really explaining my thought process and I'm just going through the motions and sometimes succeeding, sometimes not. And yeah, I can imagine that's frustrating to watch. So I'm gonna do better on actually talking through my process and maybe slowing down a little bit so I don't just get lost in my own head on things. And what else was there? Oh yeah, um, this was what I wanted to try out today. I've actually tried recording this twice already. First time I got like 20 minutes in before I had to, do something else like real world related, and so deleted that, came back to it. Second time I had like an hour and 10 minutes of footage, um, and I actually succeeded, as you can see. As you can see, and then I tried going back to make it work um, more efficiently, cut down on nodes, instructions, and whatnot, and then it just went way too long. I was frustrating myself, and I figured the way it went was just not going to be good. But fortunately or unfortunately, I can't remember how I succeeded, so I think everything's just going to go a little bit from scratch here. What I do remember, I'll try to talk through and go through it step by step so people who don't really know what's going on can follow along. But yeah, for now, I don't want to spoil myself, and yeah, I'll just create a new program. So for this level, we are reading a value from input. So move up to ACC to start, or maybe I'll move it to the side, move it down, I don't know, but I'll just do that to start. Because, I don't know, seems like a good starting point. Compare a value to the previous value, write 1 if changed by 10 or more, and if that's not true, write 0 instead. The first output is always 0. So the solution I figured out last time, if I can remember it, is well, this will require a loop, so I'll just start with that label and have this at the end. I move the first number in, I save it, I then move that number to the left to store it, and then move it back. Oh, move. So essentially what I'm doing here is I'm bringing in the first number, I'm saving it, and then I'm moving it to the left, and then I'm bringing up the next number. And this is so that I can have both the first number and the next number in the same node. And I'm bringing that first number to this node here, because in order to test if it's changed by 10 or more, I'm going to subtract it by the next number. I think that's how this logic works. If not, I'll just restart and try to do it again, but essentially, yeah. Bringing 0 in, saving it, moving 0 to the left, moving the next number to ACC, and then I'll subtract left from the ACC. And then I'm going to subtract 10 from that difference, and I'll show you why. Once I get that subtraction and I subtract 10, that difference there, so the difference between the current number and the previous number, if I subtract 10 from that difference, and the resulting difference from that is less than 10, that shows that this did not change by 10 or more. And so that'll affect what the output's going to be. But the issue with this solution, which I ran through on a few previous attempts, is that it overwrites the previous value. You can see I have 0, bring that in, then I have 32, then I get that difference, and it's just gone. So right now, I'm going to save that here. And sub 10. Now we have the difference and the next number to compare the next number in. But the issue is when I move up to ACC and then I save it again, that overwrites that number all over again. So I think, if I remember correctly, what I need to do is I'm going to start by swapping, moving what's in BAK to ACC. Then I'm going to move ACC to the left to store that over. Then I'm going to move up to ACC, and I'm going to save that so that I can store that for the next round. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't work like that because I think, yeah. Swapping, 0 goes there, ACC to the left, move up to ACC. I don't want to save it, I want to subtract 10, subtract left first to get that difference. So, yeah, I'm swapping 0 to ACC, and I'm bringing in the first number to subtract it against. So 0 moves to the left, and then it comes back to be subtracted against. We have that difference. We're going to move ACC to the right. To bring that difference along to determine what the output's going to be later in this node. But for now, I'm just going to keep it in ACC so I can move this around to make sure that this logic works out. Let's see. Oh, I want to subtract 10 from that too to get that proper difference. And then I'm going to move in the next number, move up ACC, and then save it. And I think what this will do, that didn't do 30 minus 32. So yeah, the issue I'm seeing now is that first step just subtracted 0 by 0. But now I want to get 32 minus 0. And so what did I do wrong here? Where did that 32 go? Or where did that 0 go, I should say. 0 goes there. Save. Maybe I should save this here. Or maybe I should swap. No. Because when I bring in the previous number here, I want to save it for next time to subtract the next number against. So I'm doing 0 minus 0 the first time, and then I want to do 32 minus 0. Or maybe the way this will turn out, it'll be 0 minus 32, and I can switch the logic around there, but I just want to see how that works. So, brings in the previous number. ACC to the left. And then, yeah, it's 30 minus 32. It skipped 32 minus 0. So what are we going to do here? Maybe I might need to just rethink how this is all working. I don't need that start because I don't think this needs to be a loop yet. We're starting by swapping. We'll start with like 0 minus 0 for this first input value minus some theoretical 0 input. Then we want 32 minus 0, so we want to store this first value somewhere. So we swap, move ACC to the left, we move it to ACC, we save it, move ACC to the right, and we subtract by the next value. Subtract 10, move it along, move the next value to ACC, save, and then yeah, that doesn't really do anything. So let's just completely rethink this. We're bringing in the first number. We're saving it. Then we can bring in the next number. So first 0. 0 comes in. We save it. Move the next number in. And then we can probably move actually no, what if we bring this first number in, then we bring the next number to the left, and then we subtract that. So we have 0, 0 minus 32, and then where's 32? Sub left, sub 10, because that'll be our checking condition if the difference is less than, or I think, yeah, if it's changed by 10 or more. So we'll move ACC to the right to determine the output in this node. Move 32 to the left, then we subtract it by the initial number 0, subtract 10. Oh, no, we don't want to move it to the right, we want to move it to the... Wait, yeah, we do want to move it to the right. So why did this light up? Oh, right, because it's this first instruction, it's waiting for something. It's not really what I want here. If the difference is already negative when we subtract 10, like for instance, if this was like 0 and 9, 0 minus 9 would be negative 9, and we would be able to tell if that difference was 10 or greater by adding 10 to it. So instead of subtracting, it would add 10. My explanation is probably not very good there, but I hope that makes sense. Add 10, move ACC to the right, and move the next number in. This is an issue because it's just going to keep overwriting these next values. 30 comes in, and then that gets, yeah. So I think I might be being overly ambitious. First thing I want to do is be able to store the current value and the previous value in this node. That way I can do some logic to move things around and then do the comparison from there. So I move the first number up to ACC, I save it, move the next number to ACC. So we have the previous number and the current number. After that, you can move ACC to the left, bring the current number over to this node, and then I can swap to bring the previous value back in to then do the subtraction. 32. And then we'll just move that difference to the left. No, we're moving it to the right. To do the comparison of this node. Move left ACC, bring it into the ACC for now, and we'll do the comparison logic later. So you have the first and second number. So we have 32 here. So maybe I had something right in the beginning, where I swapped first, so I had like 0 minus 0. So maybe I'll swap first. Move up to the ACC. And I won't save it. Not yet. Move left. I'll swap. I got 0. No. So yeah, this whole bit of logic of swapping it first is because ideally I'll have the next number in BAK here, and I want to bring it back to the ACC to move it to the left. So left, move up, ACC, sub left. And then I want to save it first. So ideally the previous value is here. I bring it to the ACC to move it left, so then I can subtract it by the next number that comes in. And the next number that comes in, I'll save it. And then I'll do the subtraction, and then I'll move the subtraction along. Let's see if 32 goes there, subtract. 32 minus 30. Okay, so that keeps all the numbers. Good. So, what do I want to do with the difference? Right now what it's doing, it's taking in the current number and subtracting it by the previous number, which was in this BAK value here. So yeah, start from the top. We take the BAK, bring it to ACC, we move it to the left, bring in the next number, that current value, and we subtract it by the previous value. And that difference, I'm just going to skip ahead until it's more clear. 30 minus 32 is negative 2. So that difference, that's clearly not greater than 10. So we have some difference here. And I'll just step ahead until that negative 2 gets into this node here. So we'll need to check first. If the difference is negative, we can add 10 to it. And if the difference is still negative after that, that means it's changed by 10 or more. If the difference is positive, we'll subtract 10. And if the difference after that is negative, that would mean that it's 10 or more. So with that in mind, we'll have two conditions. If it's greater than 0, if it's greater than 0, or let's do less than 0. If it's less than 0, we'll add, and adding means just adding 10. Otherwise, if it's less than 0, we'll subtract. And then we'll have some more checks here. Or, another comment I got was that we can reduce the number of cycles by distributing instructions between nodes. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to, once we've done the subtraction, we're going to move it along and then do another check in this node. So we subtract 10, and then we'll move ACC down. And then we're going to do the same here. And then to make sure this doesn't go through both adding and subtracting, we're going to put this whole thing into a loop. So let's see what that does. And we're getting a mix of positive and negative numbers. If it's less than 0, oh man, what was my condition? So 30 minus 32, that negative 2 wouldn't be greater than 10, so let's move that along until we get 32 minus 30. We get negative 2. Okay, so we're moving that to the right. It is less than 0, so we'll add 10. It's 8, so move ACC down. And then, okay, so we have 8. We'll move this next value in, which is negative 3. Add 10, 7. I'm waiting until the difference is not negative and it's positive, so we can see how that logic works. Negative 3, 7. Okay, 4. Subtract 10. Move it down. Oh man, what did I want to do with this check? I'm thinking too far ahead and I'm forgetting what I initially planned for this section. I'm subtracting or adding 10 to check if the difference switches between positive and negative. I mean, so if that's the case, then we can't do any error checking here. If it's subtracted, if we subtract 10, that means it becomes negative. No. Damn. Right, 1 if it's changed by 10 or more. If we subtract 10... No, hold on. Yeah, I'm doing it all wrong. What if I could just... If it's less than 0, we can make it negative. Then we're dealing with a single condition we need to do. So neg is just make it negative. Just, yeah, make all differences positive. And if it's not negative, we jump to adding. Either way, we jump to its adding. And so theoretically, all these, no, we wouldn't add, we would subtract. All these differences would be positive. And if the difference is greater than 10, if we subtract 10 from it, it'll still be greater than 0. Otherwise, if the difference is not 10 or more, it'll become negative. So that's what this is going to do. We'll just sub 10. This didn't need a jump instruction. I could just add it to the end of this. And jump start. And then this is what we can do. is we bring that difference down here to check if it's greater than 0, which means that it has changed by 10 or more. It's 1. Otherwise, we move 0 down. And that's that, I think. And this will need to be in a loop as well. Otherwise, it'll just go to that one label. And for all of these, we need to move this down. Move up, down. Let's try it. And that works. Oh. Okay, got messed up there. What happened? Zero. And this is 19 minus 23, which is not more than 10, so that should be 0. Right. And now this is 18. Oh, no, this is 9 minus 19, which is 10 or more. Right. So this is just checking like if it's more than 10 by making it a jump greater than 0 instruction. If it's more than 10, we want it to be 10 or more, so we can just change this to less than 0 and make the default move 1 down. Otherwise, we move 0 down. I think that's the issue. Oh, my bad. Let's go again. There we go. All right. And I think, yeah, somehow this was better than my previous solution. I wish I could tell you what that was. And I would go over to the old program to like just show you, but that's also part of the reason why I just gave up, because I didn't bother making a new program to like test out my new hypothetical supposedly genius solution, and I just overwrote my previous program and then I forgot what I did in my previous program. So yeah, that's an issue. I feel like I might fall into the same situation because I really want to optimize this to get rid of this node and cut down on the number of instructions. Oh yeah, let me first read some of this. Days and days and days, cycles and cycles, and just one after another. I'm sick and tired of people who don't respect me. Time to pack it up. And yeah, I think what this means is this guy's gotten so obsessed with this operating system that he's just going to pack up, move somewhere else, so he doesn't have to deal with all the disappointment from other people or people looking down on him or not respecting him, in his words. It looks like he's gone on a bit of a bender with this. So, what I thought on my previous recording of this is that I could just stagger these out. So like this node takes care of this logic, this node takes care of that logic, and then this node takes care of that logic, and so forth, so I can just get rid of this node. The issue is I couldn't crack exactly how it would work, and it took me 45 minutes before I just completely lost it. It sounds more dramatic than it is. I just got disappointed and realized that this was turning into a very boring video, and just wanted to start over and give myself time to forget what I did. I don't know if it was intentional or not, if I wanted to forget what I did so it would seem more genuine, but you know, that's the best of my recollection. So we're at about a half hour right now. I'm going to take a picture of this with my phone and make a whole new program to, yeah, this was the result of that the first time. I could not figure it out. But I am going to try to figure it out here, and I'm going to... Yeah, someone also told me there's a way to title these things. I didn't read through that comment that thoroughly to see how, but maybe I will next time. And I apologize if you're watching this and hear me say that. Nothing personal, just was in the middle of things. I'm happy that I cut down on the number of cycles though, but there's that. The fact that it's possible, and okay, that confuses me. Is this just... Because when I run through this, it is possible to get 4 nodes. That's what that means, right? Let me take a picture of this, and I'm going to compare it to the graphs on the menu, because yeah, these are completely different graphs. I can't tell if this is just like my personal best. So either way, I'm going to... So yeah, I can't tell if these are global statistics or the global statistics were on the actual like program here. So yeah, because this says it's possible. Like, so maybe the ones in the like the main menu are like my personal best. Maybe. And then these are like global statistics. I think I'm just stalling because I really don't want to mess this up. But yeah, that's why I took a photo of this. Okay, I'm just gonna see. Bring in the previous, bring in the, and storing that over here. Okay, I'm just gonna return to the segment list, try to create a new program. The idea is I start by swapping and moving the next one to the left. Then I move from the right ACC and I save it. And I think that'll take care of everything there. This one, I'm going to move... No, I don't want to move it to the left. I want to move it over to this node, so it'll be to the right. So 0 moves along. ACC sub left. And I think that'll take care of the subtraction. 0 goes there. I'm not moving anything from the right, I'm moving it from up. And that's just overwriting things. So what did I do in my previous program to be able to store it all correctly? So I bring in the previous value. Move ACC to the right. So I want to bring in the previous value, move it over here, and store that in the ACC of this node. Then I want to move the next number to the right to do that subtraction. No, I want to store it first so that I can save it and then move to the right. I think that would work. Bring in 0, Subtract 0 minus 0. What just happened there? Bring previous value to ACC, move it to the right. Bring in the next number, save it, move it to the right to do subtractions. Swap, move ACC to the right. Oh, yeah, it's getting stuck because I'm not doing anything here. This will be pretty similar to the previous attempt in terms of like getting all the logic. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a copy of that. So yeah, that's doing the subtraction. And then yeah, start, move up, ACC, jump less than 0 neg, otherwise sub 10. No, move it down. And then jump start. And then in the negative loop, we just negate it, sub 10, move ACC down. And then this bit of logic is going to be the one that determines the output and then moves it down. And then move up ACC, jump less than 0, 0, move 1 down, jump start. And then in the 0 loop, we just move 0 down. Okay, so I think this could work. Could it? Oh my god. Huh. Well, isn't that something? Wow, okay. So I can still count down on instructions though. That is so tempting. And I still have time. Do I really want to? Possibly. Okay, let's just see what we can do here. Because I'm trying to see if there's any extraneous instructions here. I don't know. Maybe this? Maybe I could move some of this here. Would that just be bundling up on cycles if I had more loops? I don't know. And I don't want this whole other half of the video, if it did stretch out to an hour, to be like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, so no. So I think I'm going to leave it off here for now. Keep this fairly short. And if there are any recommendations that you might have to cut down on this, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll just start off in the next video. I'll wait to see if there's any instructions by the end of like today or tomorrow, any recommendations by like today or tomorrow. Then I'll spend the beginning of next episode showing that in this previous level before moving on to the next one, and I think that could be good. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comments, and have a great rest of your day.